Welcome, action fans! This is Grubby Phil, and this week we're going to be talking about a movie starring Stone Cold Steve Austin called Recoil.
Movie should be fun. Movie should be fun. Movie should be fun. Movie should be fun, yeah!
Recoil, starring Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin of wrestling fame, and Danny Trejo, along with Serinda Swan, is a film I watched this week. It's a little film, you know, it's a kind of standard fare for straight to video or straight to VOD as we normally have nowadays, or straight to DVD. Came out in 2011. You can tell that Sons of Anarchy was big around this time because the bad guys in this film are a biker gang. So Stone Cold Steve Austin, he comes into town, he stays at a motel, he makes friends with the motel owner. You'd think it might turn into a romantic relationship, but it doesn't really, and I like that they were restrained there. Basically, he's hunting down people who killed his family, your standard kind of Frank Castle Punisher thing almost, if you like. Danny Trejo heads up this biker gang who turns out to be responsible. The reason I watched this film, the reason I picked it, other than the fact that it was available on Netflix at the time, is that I love Danny Trejo. I think he's fantastic. He's in all the mariachi movies, you know, Desperado, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. He's in those and he's great in those, and he's in a bunch of other stuff too. He's done all sorts of stuff throughout his career. And in this film, he's not playing someone with a heavy Mexican accent, which he is often sort of cast into. So I love Danny Trejo, and I thought, okay, I don't think I've ever actually watched a Stone Cold film before. He's sort of your Van Damme to Schwarzenegger of European stars in the 80s to The Rock now. You had Van Damme, he made good little films, and you had Schwarzenegger, he was the big European accented star. And with the sort of WWE, WWF route, you have The Rock, and you know, The Rock, and you have Stone Cold, and he's making stuff too. So I watched it, and the fight scenes are, you know, they're pretty good, they're very salvageable. The acting it's Danny Trejo's good, everyone else is fine. Austin himself, he's not bad. I actually believe him as a kind of gruff, barely talkative revenge character. But it's not very interesting to watch. You know, he doesn't ooze charisma like The Rock does, for example. He's just a bit too gruff and real. You know, yeah, I'd be fucking scared of him if he walked into my town and looked like he was out for revenge. But it's not all that interesting to watch. So he's okay. Serinda Swan, she's fine, you know, she's relatively believable as a sort of small town motel owner. She seems genuinely sympathetic. Danny Trejo is not made enough use of. You know, he's great, and he can chew the scenery, he can be serious, he can do action. He's like 70 years old and he's still awesome. And I think they could have made so much more of him and his character as the leader of this sort of Sons of Anarchy type biker gang. He was underutilized. Stone Cold is in it a lot. Obviously, he's a star. He just does a sort of lot of walking around looking gruff and beating people up, which is fine. You know, it's watchable. It's fine. I got a bit bored, though, I have to admit. If I wasn't planning on doing this video for it, I may or may not have made it through to the end. There's some fun bits in it, you know, in the end action scene, he duct tapes his hand to Danny Trejo's, and I love that the end fight scene is just two guys smashing each other. No computer graphics, no trucks crashing into things, no fireballs, just two guys smashing. Quite like that. The bit that made me actually laugh is there's a bit where Danny Trejo is kind of knocked down, climbs up the edge of like a cabinet, and there's a machete on the top, and he picks up the machete, looks at it, puts it down and picks up a sort of size thing instead. And just that little sort of, little tease to his machete movies, I thought that was really funny, I like that. Unfortunately, that's the thing I like most in the film, and if a little throwaway joke to machete fans is the thing you like most in the film, it's not so good. So, was this movie fun? Recoil, starring Stone Cold Steve Austin, Danny Trejo. No, I have to say no. It's a close no, it was so nearly a yes. It's not a bad film. I'm not saying don't watch it, you know, it's an alright little small town action film. It's competently made, it looks alright. It has that kind of dark, miserable, flat lighting that everything action seriously things have nowadays. But it just wasn't very fun. I think I've noticed it with a few of these more recent sort of straight-to-video style small town action revenge flicks. In the 80s and even the 90s, they had a kind of tongue-in-cheek, self-conscious silliness to them, which you kind of need with that kind of grim material. And This, again, just played completely straight throughout, and you just get a little bit bored. You need a lot of charm, or a lot of character development, or you need something if you're going to play it that straight. Recoil just doesn't have that, so it needed to be a bit more fun, and a bit more in keeping with the kind of 80s action, you know, the sort of big muscular guy beating people up, getting stuff done his own way kind of stuff. You need more of that. You need more fun to have that. Wasn't that much fun. Sorry. So, Recoil. No, it wasn't a fun movie. I'd probably say it's an alright movie. If the question was this movie good? I'd say, yeah, it was alright. But was this movie fun? No, it's not going to be all that much fun. I would watch another Steve Austin film. He didn't put me off watching him. But, you know, I watched his TV show at his ranch once about him, you know, getting people to compete in kind of Tough Mudder desert stuff. And he's got way more charm in that when, you know, when someone's out and he's like, I'll see you down the road. You know, where's some of that in this film? And Danny Trejo, if you're going to put him in a film, definitely put him in a film. You know, he's old. Put him in as many films as you can before we don't have Danny Trejo anymore. But make him do a little more. Make him awesome. Okay, so thank you very much. This has been Movies Should Be Fun. And I've been Grubby Phil. And I'll see you down the road.
Movies should be fun, yeah!